So the question is, why is a garden like a blank canvas? And the reason I pose it that way is because there's so many different formulas out there on how to do a garden. People will tell you, you need to line it this way or do it this way. And your garden is exactly that. It's a blank canvas, and it's your garden your way. You may have a neighbor who tells you this is a way he or she has done their garden for years and this is why it's great. Or maybe your granddad did it a certain way and you feel that's a great way to set up your garden. Well, here at Whirlwind Family Farm, we try to stick with some things that have worked for us, and that's the way we painted this canvas in that analogy, is we try to set it up in a way that's going to be productive. But really, there's just two rules that we stick with out here. Is when we set this garden up, we try to put it in a place where there wouldn't be a predominant shade. For example, from 2 p.m. on in the afternoon, there's a shade that's casted over it from a tree or a building. So we made sure we didn't have that, and we don't. The other thing is our drainage. We tried to make the farm so each of the rows, as you can see right there, are facing down the slope. So when it rains really hard, the rain goes down the walking paths and doesn't cut across the beds and disturb them or mess them up. So those are really the only two rules. We are a no-till. We don't use any tillage equipment. We may broad fork occasionally. We use compost as the fertilizer. We use no pesticides. Those are our rules, and that's what we stick to, and it's been very successful here at Whirlwind Family Farm. But for you, when you set up your farm, it's your blank canvas, or when you set up your garden, and it may be a small garden in the backyard. It may be, as I say, if you live in an apartment and you have a little balcony and you have some containers and you grow a few things in there, it's your way of doing it. I will tell you, the seed packet will tell you how deep and the time of year to plant. If the seed packet doesn't tell you, we have something that people didn't have 30 years ago or from the beginning of time, and that's the internet. The device you're probably watching me on, you can go into the search engine and find out the time of year to plant that particular vegetable, how deep the seed should be, and really how much water should be applied. And that's pretty simple. So many people will talk about gardening in such a complicated way. And that's, if I have one mission here on Whirlwind Family Farm, is dispel a lot of those hesitancies that people have about gardening. To make this process as simple as it really is. I will tell you, when I started into market gardening, I didn't have a big background in farming and didn't have a big knowledge of it. I do now. And I did a lot of studying and I got a lot of information that was great, sometimes too much information, and sometimes went down paths that I shouldn't have gone down. So I'll tell you, your garden is a blank canvas. Set it up the way you want. Plant the vegetables that you like. Put it in the location, as long as you don't get that bad shade. And I will tell you, not all shade is bad. For example, there's some plants like tomatoes that like a little shade. If you come across something where it's companion planting, you're planting two different things together and you're worried, do they work together, like tomatoes and onions? Are they going to harm one another? Well, you can go to the internet and find out in a matter of seconds. It's a quick, easy resource. And by the way, tomatoes and onions do work well together. So, if I have to tell you the main focus when you set your garden up, is set it up your way. If you prefer, if you have a rotiller and you have a small garden and you prefer to till it. It's your garden. We prefer no-till. We just feel like we get better results. The soil is disturbed less, microorganisms are not turned over and dried out. So we like no-till, and I do recommend it. But it's a blank canvas. It's your garden. Set it up your way, plant it your way. I hope this helps. We always try to bring information that's helpful to your garden and move your gardening process along further. So we appreciate it. If you like this content and you want to get more, please like and subscribe. And we appreciate that, because The goal is not just to have a great channel, but to actually bring you further along in your gardening process. So blessings over you, your family, your garden, your harvest. Take care from Whirlwind Family Farm. Talk to you soon.